Okay, so we're going to start with the shoulder pendulum exercise. So if we take the stick with an end grip on your left hand, then we're going to use the right hand across the stick like so, and stretch up and give that left shoulder a stretch at the top. So the right hand pushing up on the left side, and hold. You hold that for a few seconds and then come down. If we need to, we can shuffle the right hand further down the stick. So as we come up again for the second stretch, we can hold. You can press down into the stick at the top hand if you want to add a little bit of tension in that position. And then relax. And one more, the third stretch. Again, trying to take it up. You'll probably find going up a little bit higher each time. And hold. And then come down. Swap hands, so the right hand goes on the end of the stick. Left hand over the stick grip like so. And we're going to repeat the sequence on the right. So we stretch up, the left hand pushing the stick up as far as we can go. Hold that for a few seconds. And then come down. If we need to, we can lengthen the grip a little bit on the left side of the stick. And then we're going to stretch up again and hold. At that point, if you want to engage with the right hand and just push down into the stick a little, generate some tension there and hold. You can relax out of that stretch, and one more on this right side. We stretch up and hold. Good, and then come down and relax. This time we're going to do the kayaking exercise. So we take a nice wide grip on the stick with an underhand grip. Okay, so palms facing up. And what we're going to do in a relaxed stance, so the knees are bent, is we're going to do a paddling sequence. Try and keep the elbows straight. Try and keep the trunk still. So it's the shoulder blades gliding over the rib cage as we move in this direction, as if we're paddling down the river, but with the underhand grip to help keep the elbows straight. Now this is where it gets a little challenging if we try and paddle backwards. Again, keeping the elbows straight. So go slow, it's a different movement. Some people will probably find they start going backwards and then they're really still going forwards when they stop and look. So paddling backwards, try and make it as smooth as you can. Keep the elbows straight, shoulder blades gliding over the rib cage. Good, bit more challenging than forwards, and we'll relax into our central position again. This time we're going to take an overhand grip on the stick, so turn the hands over so the palms are down, and we're going to do the shoulder pass over exercise. So a nice wide grip on the stick. We're still in our relaxed stance, the knees bent a little bit, and what we're going to do is pull apart on the stick and take it up and over as far as you can, slowly over. Keep a full grip on the stick. When you come back and you see the stick coming into your eye line, squeeze together on the stick and slowly lower down. So the idea is to keep it nice and slow. Keep a pulling apart tension on the stick as we go up and over. So pulling apart, up and over. Slow over the top. As far as you can go. Then come back. When you see it in the eye line, squeeze together, lower down with control. We'll do 5 reps of that, so that's 2. Third one, pulling apart, up and over. And then slowly coming back, squeeze the stick when you see it in your eye line and lower down. Make sure you keep your ribs and your hips close together, so as we do this, we don't get this arching of the back, that we're trying to keep the ribs and the hips close together. So we pull apart, we go over, we come back, we squeeze together when we see the stick, and we lower down. Okay, so 5 reps of that one. Finish off my 5. and slowly lower down. Okay, we're going to do a thoracic rotation, so the shoulders are nicely warmed up. We're going to get more to the thorax, so we'll keep our overhand grip, and what we're going to do is just hinge forward at the hips, okay, and we're going to do an arc movement of the stick side to side, but we're keeping the head and the hips still, facing forward, and just moving at the thorax, at the chest. Okay, we can move the head with the stick, but keep the hips facing forward. So now we get the head tracking around, following the stick, but the hips are still facing forwards. And now we can include the hips, so the whole three, head, thorax and hips, are all tracking around. The stick will be travelling in a bigger path now, that we're getting all the different segments going together. Good, and then back to centre. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is in a half kneeling position, again looking at thoracic rotation. So we're going to kneel down. If we put the left foot forward and we have the right knee on the ground. Okay, so start off in this position, left forward, right knee on the ground. We're going to take the stick in the left hand, we're going to feed it behind the left leg, in front of the right knee, and then I'm going to take my right hand, turn it thumb down and grab hold of the stick. This way I can pull the stick across into my knee and give myself some stability. My left hand is going to rotate around towards 12, from 12 o'clock around towards 6, back around towards 12. Try and do 3 repetitions. So if we have 3 repetitions with the hand at shoulder height, we can do a couple where we go over the top with an arc and come back over the top, couple over the top and come back, and a couple down below and round, so an arc around the bottom and back. Okay, change sides, so left knee down, right foot up. This time we're taking the stick in the right hand, feeding it behind the right leg, across the front of the left. Left hand, thumb down grip. We engage the stick against the front leg, push it into it. Right hand forward at 12 o'clock. We rotate around towards 6, as far as you can go. Come back to 12. We'll do 3 with the hand at shoulder height. And we can do a couple over the top. And a couple down below. Good. Come back to neutral. If we swap legs again, so the right leg's down, left leg is up. Again, feed the stick behind the left leg in front of the right knee. This time we can take the right hand, instead of having our thumb down grip, if we have our thumb up grip, okay? If we engage the stick into my front leg, this time I'm using my retractor muscles of my shoulder blade, so I pull the shoulder blade back and engage there, and we can do our 3 reps in this position. Some people will find this a better engagement of the muscles at the back of the shoulder blade, and other people will prefer thumb down grip. So we can really do whichever you feel is easiest. try the same on the other side. So left leg down, right leg up, feed the stick behind the right leg, in front of the left. This time we're going to reach across, bum up with the left hand. We're going to engage the stick into the leg and therefore engage these muscles behind my shoulder blade, and then rotate around 3 repetitions. And come back to neutral. Okay, we'll get you standing again for our last exercise, which encompasses most of the shoulder and the thorax rotation at the same time, and that's the Slapshot exercise. So we'll take our stick, place it in the middle of your back, so roughly between the top of the back and the low back, so at this thoracolumbar junction, and we've got a nice wide grip with my palms facing forward. Okay. First part of the movement is just to hinge forward, so stick your backside out, have a nice wide stance, so take a nice wide stance and then make it a little wider. We hinge forward and we're going to rotate the right end of the stick down to the floor, land wherever it lands, look up at the top of the stick, at the left end of the stick. I want you to pull apart on the stick as you breathe in, squeeze together on the stick as you breathe out. Pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together and breathe out. One more, pull apart, breathe in, squeeze together, breathe out. Lift the right end of the stick, rotate the left end down, land wherever it lands, look up to the right end of the stick, pull apart on the stick as you breathe in, squeeze together on the stick as you breathe out. Pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together and breathe out. One more in that position, pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together, breathe out. Lift the left end of the stick, rotate through, the right end of the stick lands on the ground. For most people it will probably land a little bit further forward, further across than it was before. Look up at the left end of the stick, pull apart on the stick as you breathe in, squeeze together as you breathe out, pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together, breathe out. One more in this position, pull apart, breathe in, squeeze together, breathe out. Then lift the right end of the stick, rotate through, land the left end where it's comfortable, look up at the right end of the stick, pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together and breathe out, pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together and breathe out. One more here, pull apart and breathe in, squeeze together and breathe out. Okay, lift the left end of the stick. One more for the right side, we're going to land it where it's comfortable. Okay, we're going to look up at the left end of the stick, and instead of doing our breathing exercises here, we're just going to slowly lunge from one side to the other, just as far as feels comfortable. Lunging one way, lunging the other, lunging one way, lunging the other. One more. And then back to centre. Lift the right end of the stick, rotate the left end down, land where it's comfortable, look up at the right end of the stick and lunge slowly from one side to the other, slow and controlled. Good, and then back to centre. Lift the left end of the stick, rotate back to our centre position, and then standing up. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good workout of the shoulders and the thoracic spine, and loosen things up a little bit from there.